going into this whole spy promotion exam, I never expected that this was going to be the pretty much reveal of Tayo's main character power. And main character power, I mean, it really just kind of like refers to, whatever the main character's like signature and like specific thing is. Because up until now, Tayo didn't have anything like that. Like he's, obviously has the training, he's got his cool lightning sword and stuff. But like even that plus his blooming, none of those are really main character powers. And the reason that is because none of them really kind of stood out and would give kind of like a hard concrete spot of like, yeah, this is the main character, this is their powers, and this is why exactly, obviously, what exactly is important about them and their abilities that cement them. I mean, you can look at any other series. Naruto had the nine-tailed fox, Asta has anti-magic. You can look at, I was gonna say Goku, but I'm like, Goku just has the Saiyan power-ups out the ass. But you know what I mean. Whenever like the main character's thing, Natsu's a fire dragon slayer, Shiki's got the whole Demon King code with his Satan gravity ether girl, like anything like that. Whatever their main character thing is, and then like Andy's got the undead. It really, you can just throw a rock at them, find the character, like, oh, okay. I mean, I guess. Well, I was gonna say Luffy has Conqueror's Haki, but I mean, I guess now the Gomu Gomu fruit actually has some form of higher value we don't know. So, I mean, I guess his main character power actually was his main character power all along. Either way, Taio's is seemingly this higher end form of blooming. So there's a degree above that they talked about in this chapter. And for chapter 96, talk a little bit about 96. I didn't have time to record chapter reviews last week. But, I mean, for the most part with Chapter 96, Taio's doing his thing, just trying to attack Kyoto, trying to just get some hits on. There's nothing he can really do, but like we're getting some just moments of him like doing training with like Futaba and stuff, and he's figuring out how to combat the threads and how exactly like you can work around them. I actually really want to like get to a character who can just absolutely dominate Kyoto, like a character who's just all around more powerful without having to be, someone like Bon or like I always forget if it's Momo or Momon, their dad. Like, somebody like that where it's like, yeah, just because, like, it's a direct step up. I want to get, like, a spy rival. Like, somebody that Kyoto has been, like, trying to go after that, like, he just will dominate him, like, the second he, he decides to respond to this dude. I just think it's something that he needs at some point in time. Because otherwise he's going to end up being, he's just going to feel too powerful in the long run. I mean, he hasn't really had anything to push him yet. Obviously we're not even 100 chapters in, so it's not like it's a big deal. But definitely I'm hoping to get some more people. I don't think they named how many gold spies there are at any point. I have to go back and look. If there's any point where they've said like X amount of gold rank spies, because I know it like there's the obvious like people, and then you have like the 3 that obviously were in this exam. What was her name? Oh my god, I can't remember. The lady from like way early on, the really tall chick. She was gold, right? Because I think she fought Kyoto at one point. Either way, like I would love to get somebody who's maybe just like a couple seats higher in the overall rankings that can actually like kind of humble this dude out a little bit, kind of just put him in a spot. Either way, though, like we saw just how exactly Taya was going to be combating it, trying to do everything he can. You think though, with electricity and metal, that he would have the general advantage, and if he can use his electricity to get more of like a magnetic power, I would assume he'd be able to fully counter him, unless whatever Kyoto's blooming and stuff, and if he's got any even more powerful threads like waiting in the wing for, somebody I would imagine that uses magnetic. Because I mean, I guess at that point it would come down to the question of like, did he prepare for this? I feel like if you've got a blaring weakness, you probably should prepare for it at some point. Either way, like you have chapter 96 pretty much kind of leave off with him pulling out like this like bigger like form of his threads, like he calls it, was it like Arachne, the goddess thread, and it ends up snapping part of Taio's sword, and from that point he's like starts to fall down. It looks like he's kind of like in a defeat position, and it's only right around then you see the flowers start to bloom out of his face. And the chapter starts out, like, I was assuming that we'd get more of, like, a form, but I guess it's still technically a form. It just doesn't add anything kind of crazy, but, I mean, I guess that's more of diverted expectations in that matter. But they get, like, the obvious original, I'm trying to remember her name. They mention in there the first person of the Yozakura family bloodline. Yue. I don't remember exactly how it's said or pronounced. I remember they say it in the chapter. It's gonna bother me because I remember her name is not difficult. In order to, like, her name isn't hard to spell or even really pronounce. I think it's just hard for me to remember. Either way, his form is pretty much just blooming like the flowers all over, and it has like an energy around to it. So I'm wondering if that's just the art or if it's an effect of the form. Maybe like he's got like this energy color all around him. I think it'd be really sick. I assume it's red or blue, because like, you know, like a lightning yellow or blue color, and then Taio's regular kind of themed color in any of the color pages is red, so I would assume it's got to be something around that. But while this is happening, we do get information on it. Like, he just does like initially a blast, this giant like just giant cannon of electricity that shoots him back upwards. And it's a good thing he's got the hardening power, because like him like slamming into a wall like this would probably really fuck him up otherwise. But while he's like fighting, even with this power up, it's not like he can just overcome Kyoto. Like, Kyoto's too big of a hurdle. Like, this is much more than just like you're fighting like a slightly more powerful bad guy. Obviously, this guy is like a whole raid boss character for their world. But while he's doing this thing, he ends up just kind of like bursting past like you know, the threads, going right up to him, and uses this attack, Amaterasu Chaotic Blooming, and just blitzes right up to him. I'm pretty sure, I think he's used the Amaterasu, but I don't know if it was Chaotic Blooming the last time. I'd have to go back and look at some of his attack names, because I know that his name, like the attack names, somewhat, but I don't remember them both on like the Japanese and the like the extra part on there of you know, the parts they write in English. Because I think it was Amaterasu something else the last time. I don't think it was Chaotic Blooming, at least that I can remember. Correct me if I'm wrong. But he ends up blowing like this huge chunk of like the building away, this big shock wave that is blocked, but it definitely does some damage. Like, he gets his blade in there, and I mean, I could say like damage, but like Kyoto looks completely fine. But it looks like tea time has passed, and he's good. Like, the dude drank all his tea, and now Taiyo has been promoted to like the silver rank. The thing about this chapter that I paid a lot more attention to be perfectly honest, besides the obvious main character power stuff that I was talking about, there's that one dude, Usa. He has a moment in this chapter, because they're like doing their thing, and he takes a picture and he says it's all according to plan, and then it's time for him to go. So clearly he's a bad guy. I feel like he has to be an antagonist of some sort, whether he's with Kawashida's group or he's with Bon's group, or not Bon, is it Momo or Momon? I cannot remember. The dad, I think it's Momo. I think his name is just Momo, but yeah, I feel like he's got to be working for one of the two of them. Like, unless there's a whole new bad guy group we don't know about that's going to be revealed. So Taiyo ends up passing. Now he's at silver. I guess he's the only person that's going to have passed or the silver rank. I wouldn't really feel bad if I was one of these other guys that's like, you know, oh, you know, because he's with the Yozakura, they're probably going to be nice to him. And then you see him like do all these crazy attacks and abilities. I'd be like, yeah, never mind. Makes sense why he's with them. But anyway, other than that, though, comment below, thumbs up the video, but from the like button, subscribe button, check out my other videos. But that, appreciate it. Already subscribed. Thank you all for listening. Bye.